actually coming right here to the West Bloomfield area. A great piece that's talking about women doing great things since March is Women's History Month. As a matter of fact, we're actually speaking on Hedy Lamar, a very successful actress turned scientist. And joining us here this morning, we actually have actress and lead performer for that actual show, Heather Massie, joining us. Good morning. How are you?
I'm very well. Thank you so much, Kevin. A delight to be with you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for being with us here today. Heidi, we're talking about, I'm sorry, Hedy Lamar. We're talking about a brilliant actress, a successful scientist also. Just give us some more insight and information about Hedy, please.
Yes, Hedy Lamar. She was best known as a Hollywood film star during the 30s, 40s, and 50s, originally from Vienna in Austria.
Mm.
And she was known as the most beautiful woman in the world, so people didn't give her credit for being a genius, which she was, because she liked to spend her spare time inventing instead of being at Hollywood parties. And during World War II, she wanted to support the Allied forces against Hitler and the Axis forces because she was of Jewish heritage, even though she had to hide that. And she decided that she wanted to improve torpedo guidance. And she invented frequency hopping spread spectrum technology. And we use that now in cell phones, Wi Fi, GPS, and Bluetooth. So I celebrate her as a woman of science through theater.
Nice. And it's so great to hear about this because we don't necessarily know about, the technology behind GPS and Wi-Fi and Bluetooth. So to actually get a little bit more insight behind the person responsible for that is a beautiful thing. What drew you personally to want to portray her in this play?
Well, what drew me to Hedy was that she was a genius in science and technology. I was looking for a woman to feature because I was in the sciences before I became an actor. I studied astrophysics at the University of Virginia and earned my theater arts degree from the Virginia Tech School of Performing Arts. And I'd sort of left science behind once I became a professional actor. And I finally wanted to honor that part of myself, that passion for science, and I decided I wanted to develop a show that I could tour around the world. And so that meant a smaller cast size, so a solo show. And then I looked for a woman in science to feature, and I found Hedy Lamar, and I premiered the show in 2016 off Broadway. And now I've been to 15 countries with the show.
Beautiful. Look at that. And that's a great thing that you found someone who perfectly aligns with what you wanted to portray.
Yes.
I see that you're also portraying 36 characters, including
Yep.
Hedy Lamar, Jimmy
Yes.
Stewart, Betty Davis. How are you doing it? How are you you have to have a diverse range, right? To do different characters. How do you get into
Sure.
that mindset to change characters in the middle of a play like this?
Well, first to Hedy Lamar speaking to Jimmy Stewart, and all of a sudden you're Jimmy Stewart. Yeah, so
Oh
um,
wow.
yeah, so that was very yeah. So Jimmy was very tall. So Hedy's speaking, looking quite far up, and then when Jimmy's speaking to Hedy, he's looking down because he's much taller than she is. So things like that, vocal quality, also movement quality, those kinds of things. I love playing multiple characters. I love working with dialect. And when I was writing the show, I thought it would be a lot more interesting to have these scenes of her life play out in real time rather than her just saying, this happened, that happened. That you could
Mhm.
just read a book for that, right? So I
Right.
wanted to take care of the audience, and in turn, it takes care of me so that it's always interesting. There's always something to work on, and it's all in the moment and it's alive.
Nice. Heather Massie, a New York City actor, writer, and producer who studied astrophysics before pursuing her career in theater, joining us here today talking about Hedy Lamar. Hedy, the life and inventions of Hedy Lamar. So, Heather, also, I just want to know, since it is Women's History Month, what impact do you hope this play will have on the audiences, especially in terms of highlighting the achievements of women?
Well, of course, all year, and especially this month, want to highlight those achievements of women who didn't get their due. And my mission with the work is to inspire audiences to find ways each day to make the world a better place, especially to encourage young women in science and technology, and to establish Hedy Lamar as a role model for intelligence, ingenuity, and invention. I want when people say, "Oh, she's a real Hedy Lamar," for people to think, "Oh, she's beautiful and she's very intelligent." Mhm.
Yes. I like that. And that's the thing too. We often know that some women get wrote off because they're so beautiful, and that's just something that was just gifted to them. But you have to look way beyond it. That's just surface level. So you have to
Right.
look way beyond the vanity and see that they
Mhm.
women bring a lot more to the table. People in general, but specifically we're focused on women. They bring a lot
Yeah.
more to the table than just the looks and the vanity. Well, can you
And
share any memorable? Oh, please go ahead.
I was going to say that a lot of achievements that are credited to men were really women working behind the scenes. Mhm.
Good
Yeah.
point. Good point. Yep. So throughout the time you've been doing the play and you've been touring, can you share any memorable experiences throughout the time you've played this role?
Oh, yes. Well, like I said, I've been to 15 countries. The country I've
Mhm.
performed the most in outside the United States is South Africa. I served as a Fulbright specialist there. And I was to be performing for secondary schools through science centers for part of that time, but I broke my foot. So I ended up being able to go into schools with younger learners. So there was one day in Ypsilanti, I was. In a primary school, and I was doing a presentation on Hetty with my crutches in my boot, and with scenes from the show, and the principal was translating me into Zulu, and then I talked to them about their passions, things they love to do. Then they sang their national anthem for me, and boy, can
Mm.
can children there sing! And then they were really excited, and they were having their cultural competition the next week, and so, about 5 different groups got up and performed for me, and that was a great gift to me. I thought, "Gosh, this is, like, the best day of my life."
Oh, yeah, look at
Yeah.
that. They're returning a favor. That's good to be honored like that and get that type
Uh,
of gift. I want to speak real quick specifically on the show that you have coming up March 14th at 7:30 at the Berman Center for Performing Arts, JCCF Metro Detroit in West Bloomfield. You have one show on the 14th at 7:30, but then you have a dementia friendly matinee on the 15th at 1 p.m. Can you talk about the difference between the two, please?
yeah, so the show on the 14th at 7:30 will be the full show, the regular lights, the regular sound, all of those things. Um, and then I'm very excited about the show on the 15th on Friday at 1 p.m. So dementia, Alzheimer's friendly, sensory friendly. So it will be the sound cues will be a little bit lower. The house lights will be
Mm.
up a bit, and people will be able, if they need to walk around a bit, if they need to take a break and come back, there will be people to help them do that. And I'm very excited, very excited about that show, and for the public show on Thursday.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And once again, before we get out of here, tell people how they can purchase the tickets or how they can come and see the show.
Yes, so for tickets, go to theberman.org, THEBERMAN
Mhm.
dot org, and there'll be links there to to the show. It's right there on the front homepage. And if you want to follow more about what I do and where I'm going in the world, heathermassie.com. So Heather Massie.com, because I'm headed to Tunisia and Kosovo, and then I'll be
Mm.
doing a writing residency in Bulgaria.
Well, catch her while you can, folks. She will be at the Berman Center for Performing Arts on March 14th and 15th doing the show Hedy, the life and inventions of Hedy Lamar. Thank you again so much, Heather, for your time.
Thank you so much, Kevin. It's been a delight.